Secondly, I saw something in the New York Times today. Elon Musk, and my gosh, things are changing very quickly for Elon Musk. And there were some quotes in the Times where, of course, he talked about the big, beautiful bill, the deficit that was coming. Of course, things that we've been talking about for quite some time, a bill that will crush America in the coming years. If you just look at the deficit side of it, $20 trillion added over the next 10 years to a $37 trillion debt. We don't have that money. We can't sustain that. That's one. But also, he said getting things done in Washington, D.C. is not easy. Again, something that we say all the time here, Washington always wins. What does that mean? That means that if you're playing basketball in the NBA, you can't get the ball and say, I'm just going to get the ball and run it up the court and not dribble. You have to play by the rules. You have to play within the confines of the rules that are given to you. And in this constitutional republic, again, you've got 435 members in the House, 100 members in the Senate. You've got judges. You've got 3 different branches. It was set up specifically not to be easy. And Elon Musk has discovered that in pretty rapid succession. It looks like he's really starting to sound and think again like a businessman who wants to get out of Washington and turn his back on politics.
Yeah, he effectively announced yesterday his time in Washington is over. A little bit earlier than was planned or expected, but that he's done. That this time as a temporary employee of the government, a special government employee, is over. He's walking away. He thanked President Trump. The White House claims they still have a good relationship, the two of them. That perhaps is true, perhaps is not true. But to your point, Joe, there's a quote. He was interviewed by the Washington Post. Elon Musk was in this morning's paper. And he says, quote, the federal bureaucracy situation is much worse than I realized. I thought there were problems, but it sure is an uphill battle trying to improve things in D.C., to say the least. Learning the lesson that many businessmen have learned as they've come to Washington and tried to impose the way they do business, which is to sit at the head of a table and tell people what's going to happen, to a federal government, to a federal bureaucracy. So he came in with the chainsaw. He leaves a little bit humbled, perhaps. I mean, you mentioned it. He did that interview with CBS News. We saw a clip of it yesterday. And he sounded more like the pre-politics Elon Musk, which is to say talking about engineering and business and all the things that he has become rich and famous for, and less about wielding that chainsaw to cut around the margins of our federal budget.
Yeah, again, it's not supposed to be easy. The whole idea of Madison and Hamilton's Constitution was you've got to actually work with other people to get things done. That's why, as we look at all these, and we're going to be talking about this tariff ruling, you look at all these emergency orders that are put out there when arguably there aren't emergencies. You look at all the presidential orders that are put out there. Those make great headlines. They may move the ball a little bit for a month, 2, 3 months. But man, if you want a lasting legacy, you have to pass legislation. Passing legislation, as Joe Biden learned in his term, extraordinarily difficult to do. It took him about 2 years, but at the end of 2 years, he passed a historic number of bills that became law where he had Republicans and Democrats working together. Those bills will last. Those laws will last, just like Obamacare, still the law of the land. But these presidential orders, these presidential directives will not. And so I think hopefully, for the sake of the country, we're going to have the president and Congress starting to work together to pass bipartisan legislation that will have a lasting impact.
Yeah, we'll see. And I was just going to say, Joe, it remains true that we spend too much, that the federal debt and deficit are out of control. Elon Musk is right about that. The big problem, though, is attacking that debt and deficit in the way that he did, which is trimming around the edges and cutting off USAID to children around the world, rather than actually looking at the sources of our debt and deficit, which is a much more difficult and complicated thing to do.